My dearest sweetheart, there's a story etched into the very fabric of my being, a narrative that began long before our paths ever truly intertwined, a tale of hopes whispered into the quiet night and dreams carefully constructed in the solitude of my heart. It commenced, as so many profound journeys do, with a simple act. I once meticulously crafted a list, a sacred inventory of qualities I fervently hoped to discover in the person who would one day become my life partner. It wasn't merely a casual jotting down of preferences, it was an earnest, almost desperate, articulation of a soul's yearning for its other half. I envisioned someone who would not just complement me, but complete me in ways I couldn't yet fully grasp. I yearned for a soulmate, a true companion, someone with whom I could embark upon this grand, unpredictable adventure called life, navigating its myriad twists and turns with an unwavering sense of shared purpose, bound by the silken threads of kindness, boundless love, and an intuitive, profound understanding. My aspirations were not superficial, they delved into the very essence of character. I longed for a partner who possessed an inherent calmness, a serene presence that could anchor me even amidst the most turbulent storms of life. Someone sensible, whose grounded perspective could offer clarity when my own thoughts became muddled, bringing a profound sense of peace into my world, transforming even chaos into a quiet harbor. I dreamed of a maturity that transcended mere age, a wisdom born of experience and empathy, enabling them to perceive situations from a multitude of angles, to approach challenges not with panic, but with grace, thoughtful consideration, and an innate ability to find solutions where others might only see obstacles. This maturity, I believed, would be the bedrock upon which we could build a life of enduring strength and mutual respect. Beyond the intellectual and emotional equilibrium, my heart yearned for a palpable warmth. I longed for someone who was intrinsically loving, deeply caring, and openly affectionate, a soul unafraid to express their deepest feelings, to shower me with gestures both grand and small that would make me feel cherished, valued, and utterly adored, not just on special occasions, but in the quiet, beautiful rhythm of our daily lives. This expression of affection, I knew, would be the language through which our love would flourish and deepen. And extending beyond the confines of our immediate bond, I held a fervent hope for a kindness that embraced my family, too. Family, you see, has always been the very core of my existence, the roots from which I draw my strength and identity. To have a partner who not only respected them but genuinely loved them, who saw them as an extension of myself, was not merely a preference, it was an absolute, non-negotiable prerequisite, a fundamental pillar upon which our future would stand. The list continued, each quality a brushstroke in the portrait of my ideal. Respect, I believed, was paramount, not just for me, but for the sanctity of our relationship, for the promises we would make, and for the myriad commitments that would inevitably arise. Responsibility, too, was a cornerstone. I needed someone who understood the weight of their words and actions, someone I could rely upon implicitly. Honesty and loyalty were not just desirable traits, they were the very bedrock, the unyielding foundation upon which any truly lasting and meaningful relationship must be built, a covenant of trust that would withstand the trials of time. But perhaps, above all else, the most profound longing, the deepest yearning of my soul, was for someone who would love me for precisely who I am, without reservation, without the slightest inclination to mold me into something I am not. I dreamed of a partner who would peer into the very depths of my heart, understanding its intricate workings, its tender vulnerabilities, its deepest joys, and its most profound sorrows. Someone who would be my unwavering best friend, my most trusted confidant, my audacious partner in crime in life's grand adventures, and a constant, comforting presence, a safe harbor in every storm. And, of course, a truly great sense of humor was an absolute must, someone whose laughter could pierce through the darkest clouds, whose wit could bring a smile to my face even on my most challenging days, reminding me of the inherent lightness and joy in the world. As I meticulously crafted this list, point by painstaking point, my heart swelled with an almost unbearable hope, a radiant optimism for the future. Yet, as the seasons turned and time inexorably marched onward, a creeping sense of disheartenness began to settle upon me, a heavy shroud of disappointment. It felt increasingly impossible, an almost fantastical notion, to ever encounter a single individual who embodied every single one of these meticulously catalogued qualities. The world seemed vast and indifferent, and the prospect of finding someone who checked every single box on my increasingly formidable list felt like chasing a mirage in a desolate desert. The dream, once so vibrant, began to fade, replaced by a growing resignation. Eventually, with a heavy sigh and a pragmatic shift in perspective, I began to prepare myself for the inevitable compromise. I told myself that some traits, the absolute essentials, would remain non-negotiable, fundamental anchors in my search. But others, I reasoned, could be released, allowed to drift away like autumn leaves. I began to construct a narrative for myself, a quiet reassurance that I could, in fact, manage without certain things, as long as the most profoundly important aspects, the true core of my desires, were present. It was a concession born of exhaustion, a reluctant surrender to what I perceived as the harsh realities of life and love, a quiet acceptance that perfection, as I had envisioned it, was simply not attainable. Then, as if the universe itself had been holding its breath, waiting for my moment of surrender, you appeared. From the very first moment our paths converged, from that initial, indelible meeting, everything shifted. The carefully constructed framework of my list, once so vital, suddenly seemed utterly inadequate, almost laughably incomplete. You didn't just meet my expectations, you transcended them in ways I had never dared to imagine, in dimensions I hadn't even known existed. It was as if every quality I had ever dreamed of, every unspoken yearning, was not only present but amplified, glowing with an unexpected brilliance. And the ones that truly mattered most to me, the very essence of my deepest desires, were all there, woven seamlessly into the tapestry of your being. It felt, in those bewildering, beautiful early days, as though some benevolent, cosmic force had meticulously crafted you specifically for me, a tailor-made soul designed to intertwine with mine. I simply could not believe my extraordinary luck. How could anyone be so perfectly aligned with the deepest longings of my heart? At first, I confess, a subtle veil of skepticism clouded my perception. It felt almost too good to be true, a shimmering illusion perhaps, destined to dissipate like morning mist. I found myself instinctively searching for hidden flaws, for some unseen, less perfect side of you, a crack in the seemingly flawless facade. I waited, I observed, I scrutinized, but what I discovered, with each passing day, was nothing short of pure, unadulterated authenticity. You were true, genuine, and transparent from the very beginning, a beacon of unwavering sincerity. And slowly, gently, like the dawn breaking over a new horizon, I began to believe, truly believe, that you were the person I had been patiently, perhaps even unknowingly, waiting for all along, the missing piece of a puzzle I hadn't realized was incomplete. Every single day since that realization, since you became an undeniable, vibrant presence in my life, I have been enveloped by a profound sense of gratitude and an overflowing, almost dizzying, joy. It feels as though the universe, in its infinite wisdom and boundless compassion, heard the deepest, most fervent prayers of my heart and answered them, not with a whisper, but with the magnificent, undeniable reality of you. I struggle, even now, to adequately describe the sheer blessedness that washes over me, the overwhelming fortune of finding someone who understands the intricate landscape of my soul so deeply, who loves me so completely, so unconditionally, that it feels like a divine embrace. Your beauty, sweetheart, is not merely skin deep, It radiates from within, a luminous glow that encompasses both your outward grace and the breathtaking kindness of your spirit. It is, truly, like the most exquisite cherry atop an already perfect, delectable cake, a final, dazzling touch that elevates everything. When I gaze upon you, I see not just a beautiful face, but a kind, compassionate, and profoundly beautiful soul, a reflection of everything good and true in this world, and it makes me feel, without a shadow of a doubt, like the luckiest person alive. You have, in ways I could never have anticipated, infused my life with so much happiness, so much profound meaning, that the world before you now seems a little dimmer, a little less vibrant. You have, through your very presence and your boundless love, shown me what it truly feels like to be loved, not just superficially, but to the very core of my being, in a way that nourishes and sustains. Your laughter, a melody I cherish above all others, brightens my days, chasing away shadows and filling the air with an infectious joy. Your kindness, a gentle balm, soothes my soul, calming anxieties and offering solace. And your unwavering support, a steadfast pillar in my life, imbues me with a strength I never knew I possessed, empowering me to face anything that comes our way, knowing I am not alone. With you, I have discovered not just a partner in the conventional sense, but a best friend in the truest meaning of the word, a constant companion on this incredible journey, and a confidant to whom I can entrust my deepest thoughts and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. I have come to the profound realization that you are, unequivocally, everything I have ever wanted, and so much more than I ever dared to hope for. You have, through your very existence, illuminated a fundamental truth, that love isn't merely about finding someone who meticulously checks off a list of desirable qualities. It's about finding someone who, with every fiber of their being, feels like coming home, a sanctuary for the soul. Thank you, my love, for simply being you, for your inherent kindness, your boundless love, your profound understanding, and for being, in my eyes, nothing short of perfect. I am truly, deeply honored to call you my partner, and I vow, with every beat of my heart, to cherish you for all my days, for all the days of our shared existence. Sweetheart, there's something else, a delicate thread of apprehension that I've been meaning to share with you, a deep, almost irrational fear that sometimes takes root within me. It's an unreasonable fear, I know, one that logic dictates might never materialize, and yet, it haunts my quiet moments, a persistent whisper in the stillness of the night. I've worried about telling you, fearing it might cause you distress or plant seeds of doubt where there should be none. But keeping it confined within the chambers of my own heart has, at times, felt even harder, a heavy secret weighing on my spirit. Sometimes, in those solitary hours, I find myself wrestling with the unsettling question, what if, by some cruel twist of fate, you were to meet someone else, someone who, in the eyes of the world or even in your own heart, seemed better suited to you than I am? What if you encountered a soul who existed on your exact wavelength, a person with whom you wouldn't need to expend any effort, any conscious work, to make things flow effortlessly? Someone who shared every single one of your interests, understanding you in ways I can only desperately hope to, anticipating your thoughts, completing your sentences, effortlessly mirroring your very essence? The mere contemplation of such a scenario, the vivid imagining of that possibility, absolutely terrifies me. The truth is, the only thing in this vast, unpredictable world that truly, profoundly scares me is the thought, the unbearable reality, of losing you. Deep down, in the quiet certainty of my soul, I know that you love me unconditionally. You have demonstrated it time and again, through your unwavering loyalty, your boundless patience, and your consistent, gentle kindness. You have proven your devotion in countless ways, big and small, and for that, my heart is eternally grateful. Yet, despite this profound inner knowing, doubts, insidious and persistent, still manage to creep in. These doubts do not stem from anything you have ever said or done. They are not a reflection of your character or your commitment. Instead, They are echoes of external voices, the lingering words of others, and, most painfully, the insidious whispers of my own deep-seated insecurities. I have heard it said, more times than I care to admit, that I don't deserve someone as amazing as you, that someday, you'll inevitably realize choosing me was a mistake, and you'll leave. These words, once spoken, linger in the air long after they are uttered, planting tiny, venomous seeds of fear within me, seeds that, if I allow them to, grow stronger and more suffocating the more I dwell on them, threatening to overshadow the radiant truth of our love. Every single day, I rise with a singular, driving purpose, to strive to be better for you, to evolve into the person you truly deserve. I endeavor, with all my might, to become someone you are not only proud of, but genuinely excited to introduce to your friends, someone who embodies the very essence of your dreams for a partner. I want, more than anything, to be everything you deserve, everything you have ever hoped for in a life companion. But I am acutely aware, with a humility that sometimes borders on pain, that I am not perfect. I carry within me a multitude of flaws, imperfections that are deeply ingrained, and there is so much within me that still requires diligent work, so much room for growth and refinement. When people utter those well-meaning, yet deeply unsettling words, "You deserve better," I understand, with a clarity that stings, precisely why they might think that. You are, after all, truly incredible, kind, loving, intelligent, and breathtakingly beautiful, both inside and out. I see, with an almost painful clarity, why they might believe you deserve a partner who is utterly flawless, a being of pure perfection. What they fail to grasp, what remains utterly invisible to their external gaze, is the boundless, unwavering, and fiercely protective love that I harbor for you, a love that exists despite my shortcomings, a love that transcends every single one of my imperfections. No one, I believe with every fiber of my being, could ever love you with the same depth, the same intensity, the same all-consuming devotion that I do. You mean everything to me, you are the very axis around which my world revolves. I hold you in the highest possible regard, a reverence that borders on the sacred, and I thank God, with a profound and sincere gratitude, every single day for the miraculous blessing of bringing you into my life. You have, quite simply, become my everything, my entire universe. I wake each morning with your name, a silent prayer, on my lips, and I drift into sleep each night with thoughts of you filling my mind, a comforting lullaby. Every single dream I dare to conjure for the future, every aspiration, every hope, revolves inextricably around you. You are not merely a part of my life, you are, unequivocally, at its very center, its beating heart, its guiding star. I am not, sweetheart, a great person in the conventional sense, not without my faults and failings. But I promise you this, with every ounce of sincerity I possess, I will never stop trying. I will continue to work on myself, diligently and relentlessly, not just for my own personal growth, but, more importantly, for us, for the sanctity and strength of our shared future. I want, with every fiber of my being, to grow into the person you truly deserve, a partner you are unequivocally proud to call yours. There will always be aspects of myself that require improvement, areas where I will stumble and fall, for that is the nature of being human. But I promise you, I will never, ever stop trying. You, my love, are my constant inspiration, the radiant force that compels me daily to be better, to reach higher, to become truly worthy of the extraordinary gift that is you. Sometimes, yes, that familiar fear takes hold, especially when I allow the careless words of others to penetrate my defenses, or when my own deep-seated insecurities surface, whispering doubts into the quiet corners of my mind. In those moments, I feel that familiar, unsettling tremor of uncertainty. And for letting those moments affect me, for allowing those shadows to momentarily cloud the brilliance of our reality, I am truly sorry. Because I know, in the deepest, most unwavering part of my heart, that you are mine, and I am yours. That is our undeniable reality, a truth as solid and unyielding as the earth beneath our feet. But fear, insidious and irrational as it is, has a way of clouding even the brightest, most self-evident truths. Yet, even in those moments of fleeting doubt, one truth remains paramount: I am utterly, completely crazy about you, sweetheart. I am in awe of you, of your strength, your kindness, your beauty, your very essence. And I am forever grateful, beyond words, for the miraculous, life-altering love we share. You are my light, illuminating my path through darkness. You are my guide, leading me with gentle wisdom. You are, quite simply, my everything. And though I am not perfect, and I may, at times, fall short of the lofty ideals I hold for myself, I promise you this: I will love you with every fiber of my being, with everything I have, for every single moment of my existence. My love for you is not fleeting or conditional, it is relentless, a fierce and unyielding force that will weather every storm, silence every doubt, and stand the unyielding test of time, emerging stronger with each passing challenge. No matter what others may say, no matter what insidious doubts may attempt to arise from within, my commitment to you is unwavering, a steadfast beacon in the vast ocean of life. You are, without a shadow of a doubt, the most important person in my life, and I will dedicate every ounce of my being to making you happy, to ensuring your joy and contentment. You deserve the world, my love, every single beautiful piece of it, and while I may not be able to give you everything the world has to offer, I promise you this: I will give you all of me, my time, my energy, my unwavering devotion, and the entirety of my heart, laid bare and true.